What's going on? It's Justeeni here. This is part 2 of my World Championship qualifier thingy. Yeah, we're still in the group stage, and this is going to be the latter half of the games. So it's going to be a bunch of rematches. You'll see some familiar faces. So first off, against Senor Vonzo once again. This time I'm hosting, and it's on Arky again. And before we get right into things, let's look at the spawn. Just what do you do here? Because I had to take a good look at this. Remember, Arky has 2 suburbs. There's a shoreline right here, pointing this way and this way. So there's definitely a village over here. There's a mountain in the way here, which is not good. And then there are shorelines here, here, here. I believe there is one here as well. There's a good chance my second village is also over here, but I would have to get climbing for that. Do I really want to do that? Not really, I don't think it'd be ideal. But what do you do with this kind of spawn? Because there's another thing to consider. Port connections. Ew. Am I even getting them? It's going to be a really long time, and my resources aren't that good either. I'm getting really late giants. My expansion is going to suck. Everything looks bad here, but let's see how I play this out. No more dilly-dallying. You know, you guys really want to see this, I'm sure. No warrior. Riding pre-cap. That's right. You guys already know where this is going. I see all these shorelines. Those are bridge spots. And now I see I'm forced to get climbing. I really wanted to go around the mountains to avoid climbing, but there's a ruin here, at least for my troubles. And sure enough, the village is as far away as can possibly be. But now I get some riders. I meet the opponent. And yeah, I skipped the ruin because I want to get the village a turn sooner. I'm fine getting this a turn later. Expansion is really important right now. I get an explorer ruin, which actually ends up being okay, but still not ideal, which kind of shows, well, at least I have 4 cities. And some bridge spots. Ooh, lots of bridge spots. So we're getting some serious bridge value. And yeah, like, look at how many bridge spots there are. Imagine I didn't go writing roads here. Like, do you know how awkward it would be to connect all of these cities? And then to, like, play this out? But we're going to use the power of rider roads on Arky. Now I get an explorer here. I don't have fishing, but I know it's going to go where I need to. And I have climbing. There's no mountain that's going to get in the way. It's going to give me beautiful vision. I see they have construction. They're going to get an early giant. Now, normally early giant's actually pretty good for the rider road player on Arky because they put it in a port, and yeah, but they don't have to do that. They have land connection, which is actually now a problem because they can send the giant that way. And yeah, do some fighting. I could have denied them this village, by the way, I'm pretty sure, but I kind of messed things up, so they are keeping that. This vet sword's going to be annoying. But I get these bridge spots, I see a village and the ruin. That means there's no village over here, though. So I'm going to be chilling on 5 cities. Pretty much for the whole game. That's fine by me. I get a nice slap there with this sneaky play. Now, I could have considered not doing this and instead placing a bridge here or here, which in retrospect, I should have done. Because they now take this city and block this bridge spot. I still have this bridge spot at least, so it's not the end of the world. I get a construction ruin, which at first seems really good, but I can upgrade my cap, and that's it. So, I mean, it's okay. But yeah, I get fishing pre-cap. I'm going to use ports to connect now, because I need to get giants. These riders are doing a good job against the opponent, who got Raymers, by the way. Those would be really dangerous if I did not have riders on standby. But I'm going to finally get my connections. You can see the bridge is helping with the connections as well. This is just beautiful to see. I get another explorer. I'm hoping I can get a lighthouse, and then I have a chance at Eye of God. Unfortunately, it just barely misses, but I do see what's going on. The opponent is getting the city, so I have to fight a city disadvantage with rider roads and Arky. And how do I navigate this? Well, I need to get giants of my own. So let's do that. And yeah, they sweep around. They didn't have vision on this yet, but they did just get the vision from sweeping around, so now they know it's there. And they get defenders. Defenders are going to be a bit of a problem because I wanted to place bridge here, pressure, and cause some problems, but it's a bit harder to do that when they can just place a defender. Defenders are very good into riders. So, yeah, it's going to be harder to attack. But I have to attack. I have to make something happen because in the long term, I'm going to be down a monument. I'm going to be down a city. They have construction. They're going to be well developed. They put their Juggernaut in a port, but it's safe. They've got defenders. And I just go ahead and kill that. Send my giants up. And I go for this pressure play now. This capital is pretty vulnerable. I'm up in super units. That's not going to last forever though because they're just about to get the city. So I need to go all in on this attack while I have the chance. So let's see what happens. And then I make some units. I've got some rafts. I do want to make those into something. Question is, do I want scouts or do I want rammers? They both serve very different purposes. But what is more important here? They take out that rider. They send this back because they need to play defense once again. They kill this rider, which is a mistake. I can just road along, take that out. I'm also vet assigning, by the way. Not this one, but I have some other riders that are sneaky veterans. I do a nice land, get another Juggernaut, and get some free damage there. Still haven't promoted the rafts to anything. I just haven't had the stars. But now they are on 6 cities. They're gonna get that giant. But I send the Juggernaut in like this. This looks absolutely insane. Why would I do this? It's just gonna get hit twice. I know it's gonna get hit twice, except it's actually not. It's only going to get hit once. But it's still gonna get hit once. That's free damage. I'm fine with the free damage. Why am I fine with the free damage? Let's say they hit. Okay, how much damage is that? 12? Okay, it's down to 28 health. Now their giant is sitting here. And I have all these units to attack and then siege with a 28 HP giant. How do they unsiege that? Where's their giant push? They just got a giant here. I mean, look at how much population. You can place a monument, I don't care. If I get the siege, they're not unsieging, I'm winning the game. So if they hit this, I don't care. And if they don't hit it, great, now I siege with a 40 HP giant. So it's a win-win. I need to put this Juggernaut up here, though, to pressure. If I don't move the Juggernaut up, and, you know, I'm too afraid of them getting the free hit, I'm not getting this opportunity. So I have to take this chance. Now I get sailing, and yes, sailing. I want to poke at these defenders. These riders are doing great against the rammers anyway. So let's get some nice scouts. It's also going to poke away at this giant here. They take the free hit. They try to sack units. Defend. Just weaken my giants as much as possible, but again, this 28 HP giant, which they just got a free hit off of, is also going to siege. And I win the game with this atrocious spawn by using rider roads. Now, 4 wins, but I still need to win every game I can. So let's cut to the next match. So against this guy again. I was hosting last time. Now I am not hosting. It's Archipelago again. Let's get right into things. So I see my village. Things look pretty normal and fine. They are normal and fine. I find my villages just how I like. My resources are good. Sunshine and rainbows. Nothing could go wrong until things go wrong. This could be concerning. Because what city is this? Is this their capital or is this a different city? Why does it matter? Well, it matters because if it's their capital, I've just moved and given them meeting stars. Which is not good, and there's not much I can do about that now. I just moved here. I see they've placed a farm. I need to get meeting stars myself though, so that's why I'm moving further in. Again, explore off. Explorer does its thing. Gives me lots of vision on the south. I see the ruin, the villages. And now I meet them. 7 stars. So they've got a good amount of score. And I decide to not walk in right away because I no longer need to meet them. And then I just make some more warriors to be really safe, in case they have like any scouts or anything like that. They have a vet sword, which is a little annoying. Now I can get this 4th city. And I have a route to giant. I just get construction. I could get the giant pretty early even. I've been thinking about it the whole time. But they have their giant first. They got it on the city, which is most likely their capital, as we've established. And it's already here. What do I do about this? I can unsiege. Only if I place 3 ports. The city already has 2 ports, by the way, just to get it to level 3. And I also need Park of Fortune. Well, I can get the Park of Fortune, but where am I getting 21 stars? Where am I getting 21 stars? Unfortunately, I am not getting 21 stars. And if you guys think, well, if I just had 7 more stars, this is Justeeni. Well, the opponent actually played around it. They actually got climbing, so there is no Justeeni anyway. But I have just one out here. One option. They get navigation, by the way. That is just disgusting. They now have a ton of stars to work with. But I get this connection. Another port. 2 giants with 1 destination in mind. I'm hoping I was right, and this is their capital. I mean, they got a giant from a turn 6, and I don't see another giant anywhere, so... It is their capital. I get sailing here. Poke away at that warrior. I'm just going all in. I need to siege, and I need to hold. And I'm ignoring this giant completely. They have another giant. They're going to siege me next turn. If this siege does not hold, that is it. And I lose this game, going 1-1 against this guy. So I go in, and I look. Okay, I've blocked these. They can probably kill this scout, but they can't steal this juggernaut. And the city only has 1 population, and it's just got 2 mountains. So, unless they have a mine, I actually hold. Even a monument doesn't save them. Yep, and there it is. They splash to kill that. And they're setting up for Justeeni. And they have the mine. And this was surprisingly close, by the way. They had 5 stars left over. If they just had 6 stars less, this game would have gone completely differently, which is kind of insane. But yeah, that's how things went there. Now, the last game, the rematch against the final player, unfortunately didn't happen. They decided to drop out because unfortunately they were getting kind of destroyed. Which I guess kind of happens sometimes, such as Polytopia. But what I do have for you is the most important match of all of this, and I wasn't playing it. It's actually my opponent versus Senor Avanzo, and I'm going to show you guys that match, because this decides whether I go into some sort of tiebreakers for the group stage, or if I advance straight into the bracket. So let's cut to that. Alright, so we're going to look at this from Senor Avanzo's point of view, because he's the one that needs to win. If Senor Avanzo wins this, then I will have the most wins in the group bracket. But if the opponent wins, then it's a tie between me and him, and we have to go to tiebreakers. So this match is really important. Let's see how it goes. Oh my goodness, it's not going well. It is not going well, I'll say that. But we see the construction rush. Typical Zebasi stuff. Really good windmills. Goes for the Explorer. A little bit risky, considering he's a bit slow when it comes to economy. He does get the lighthouse. Gets that upgrade. And then gets this windmill, placing it on the fruit because he wants to set up markets. He's already thinking about that. And now he gets his next 2 cities. And he meets the opponent, sees him, sees that the opponent is laked. They are stuck with just 3 cities over here. Senor Avanza's the rest of the map. Unfortunately, his slow expansion means that this will be anything but easy. And the opponent has construction themselves. They're getting a giant very soon. And in this position, after killing this warrior, Senor Avanza does the unthinkable with 25 stars on hand. I have never seen anything like this done, ever. Just rips meditation, turn 8. Because he sees the opponent doesn't have any units. And he's fine giving up the city. The opponent gets the riders. But yes, Senor Avanza's actually just going to sit here, rush Philo on turn 8. Turn 8 meditation, turn 9 Philo. And now the opponent is going to just absolutely attack like crazy. And Senor Avanza is just training some warriors, letting the attack happen. He needs to not attack till turn 13. Look at that, the opponent has markets now. This is insane. How do you hold on to this? Just walks away. Gets hunting. He has no units. He's up in cities. But how does he defend this? Well, I'll tell you one thing. He is not defending this. He does not care. He gets a road ruin. And he still is not attacking because he needs to not attack for 1 more turn. Because he bought meditation turn 8. He needs to wait till turn 13. And now, he's starting to get some units. Setting up his market spots. Giving up the city. And now, getting his altar of peace in the middle of the game. Now slamming down trade into markets of his own. He has Eye of God, actually, because he managed to get a really good explorer here. Border growths. And we've got a long game ahead of us. The opponent now, again, they've got a lot of momentum. They just took a city. They've got markets. They're in the water now. But Senor Avanzo has one thing that the opponent doesn't. And it is philosophy. Zeb Philo. This wasn't even Zeb Philo Rush. He just got it out of nowhere. Like, I've never seen anything like this. The opponent's now just trying to attack, but it's not easy. They have a bunch of giants, but they don't have much else. And Senor Avanza is going to stack some units in this giant, make it super weak. And then get another border growth. More markets. Another giant 41-star per turn with just 5 cities. The opponent's also doing quite well with eco themselves because they also have markets. Senor Avanzo now advancing. This looks crazy. These giants don't have a defense bonus, but you can see all these giants are on force. And Senor Avanzo only needs 10 stars for archery. I think you guys know where this is going. Archery and archer spam, that's a great way of dealing with his giants. He makes a mindbender on the capital though, which is a mistake because it actually just doesn't have enough health. It doesn't have a defense bonus. If it had a defense bonus, I'm pretty sure it would survive the sword. Actually, no, it definitely would. And the opponent also gets a bomber. So it's a little sketchy now. He has to unsiege the cap. So he gets that, unsieges with the 2 HP warrior. Luckily, the opponent can't go for another siege. Trading giants here. Chivalry. Force him to space these riders. Opponent says, absolutely not. I'm just going to sack them. Weaken this giant. Weaken all of these. Defenders now. And now, this giant being backed up, it doesn't have a defense boost, but these archers are nearby. So this giant spends time attacking. It will get hit by a bunch of archers. Now you see fishing going in the water. Mindbender here. Gate of Power, border growth. And getting another giant. Senor is up a city and he has Philo, so things are looking really good for him, but the bomber, now this giant gets destroyed, but this is actually exactly what Senor Vanzo wanted here. But then the cloak. But the giant gets converted. The beautiful Mindbender push. Absolutely incredible. And it looks like Senor Vanzo is going to win this, which means that I will be advancing to the group bracket. Or not the group bracket, advancing past the group stage, into the bracket. But the opponent's not going down without a fight. They're going to be sending these cloaks. There's a lot of good targets. These cloaks could be going anywhere. Now we see a giant. See Senor Vanzo fighting back on the water. Things are looking really good. What could possibly go wrong here? I always say that when things could possibly go wrong, but what actually could possibly go wrong here? Seriously, everything looks really nice. You've got all the techs you need, you've got Philo, you've got a good economy. And now we see even more economy, more super units, more everything. The opponent's trying to fight back. Another cloak. And Senor Vanzo is starting to really chip away at the opponent. Gets a beautiful night chain here. Sees a cloak. Doesn't see it anymore. He slaps that juggernaut. And again, he's pressuring this city now. He's getting really good naval control here. Everything just looks phenomenal. Opponent gets knights. It's a little scary. Senor Vanzo. He's got a lot of archers. He's got a lot of squishy units, mindbenders and stuff. As long as he keeps those away from the knights or spaces them, he's fine. So now Senor Vanzo getting strategy. A very logical play when you see knights. And he sends all of his units away, so they can't get chained. Just a small chain here. No big deal. And you can see these mindbenders actually helping against the cloak, because they can convert the daggers. Opponent just building up more knights, and everything is under control. Now we see navigation. The daggers get converted. Now aquatism, just further dominating. And everything is going perfect. Except things are not going perfect. Senor Vanzo has just made one of the biggest blunders in this game. These giants are holding everything together, but one knight sneaks through and chains his entire backline. Oh my goodness. Everything. And he's getting cloak chained. This is an insane twist. Is this gonna be it? He's fighting for his life. He sends the juggernaut in. He's doing everything he can. He heals the giant. Defenders everywhere. Gets a giant. He's holding on, but he has to withstand a lot of pressure. And his army is in complete disarray. His mindbenders are getting eaten up. There's more cloak chains. And there's going to be a siege here. Vet Knight, wait, you can't unsiege that. Oh my goodness, he's going to lose the city. And these bombers, again. But Senor Vanzo is still fighting back. He goes for the chain, just ignoring this completely. There's no reason to use the knight there. Converting another dagger, slamming those. Hits the bomber, clearing everything out. And getting the spiritualism to get just enough population for the giant push. And he's holding everything together. And the opponent gets the unsiege here, but it looks like Senor Vanzo has stabilized. Both sides are very much lacking in units because just a lot has happened. But Senor Vanzo is just going to make a bunch of defenders, keep this bomber here. Now make some knights. These knights are safe in the back line. The opponent's attack is finally over, and on turn 27, after a long, hour-long live game, Senor Vanzo wins. Meaning, I don't have to play in a tiebreaker game. I go straight to the bracket, which you guys will be seeing in part 3, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.